And you're welcome to my YouTube channel. I think in another universe I'll be a dancer. Like I can dance in my mind. To be, I wish I could bring out all the dance steps, like all the break dances and the recent dances I dance in my head. It's just that when I stand and I try to deliver it, I don't know. I really don't know how to merge that. Anyway, I'm so glad you stopped by. Thank you for indulging me on my early chit chats. Right, you're welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Shalom Undulaka, and if you're new here, please click the subscribe button. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you for thank you for being a part of my community. Thank you for allowing me, for availing me the opportunity to be in your face once in a while. Yeah, I appreciate that. I appreciate your comments, all of that. Yep. Yeah, you're loved. Yeah, so what I'll be discussing today, right, is yeah, as always, very interesting. I'd just like to start from paint a picture to kind of give it a rich context. And pum 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 pum, yeah, I'm still filming from my office, so yeah, let's just roll. Yeah, I get that. Okay, so yeah. So this day I was in the office, I was sitting and there was this conversation, that we're having, and someone just happened to mention someone's name. Like she's kind of popular, she's known, she's that like mother, wife, business mogul, a young lady you would naturally want to look up to. And we're just talking about her generally, and then someone comes in and says, "Oh, this person." I know someone that knows her directly. I mean, she's not that great, and yeah, we just watered that down, and then we moved on to other stuff. Yeah. Now I was just thinking, thinking in retrospect, right? I'm thinking, okay, so she's not that great. For someone else that has the exact same flaws and is just, will I say, doesn't have any form of social media presence, isn't really just living normal life, going about doing their business, not trying to do anything extraordinary, right? I guess that person will be painted as a better person, right? Compared with this person, because she's not all out there, she's just cool, going up about her business, not trying to impact anybody or be a role model or anything, just living their lives, right? I guess anybody would say, oh, she's doing better because she's not putting herself, or he's not putting himself out there like he or she is a saint, right? Now the truth is, I've never heard this popular wife, mother, business mogul coming out to say, "Oh, hi guys, I'm perfect. Yeah, my husband loves me 100%. I love my husband 100%. My business is top notch. I do the hard work." I don't hear the flattery, right? The person just inspires on her level. Yeah. I think from this picture, this scenario, this illustration I'm trying to paint, you get where I'm coming from, right? I'm talking about, okay, so yeah. So I have weaknesses in certain areas. Should that stop me from doing what I perceive is right at a certain time? Like, should that stop me from giving an advice to this person or that person? Perhaps it's even something that relates to my flaws, right? What do I do in that situation? Do I do I cover it up? Do I ignore and be like, nah, this is not for me, go meet this other person, right? Do I disqualify myself because of a seemingly ongoing work in my life concerning something. Yeah. Okay, like say I'm the loudmouth at the office. I'm not saying I'm the loudmouth at the office. I'm just, giving an illustration. Yeah. So say I'm the loudmouth at the office. Like you give me one, I give you three basketballs. Like you are trying to put me down, and then I'm trying to put you down like 10 times. Disclaimer: I'm not saying this is how I am. Because I know some people. I'm just stating an example, all right? Yeah. So and I just finished having that kind of episode at the office, and I go home, and I'm told, I get this text message while I'm home. Oh, you'll be taking Bible study on Bible study on Sunday, and the topic is controlling your tongue. Now, it's it is said that God has a very wonderful sense of humor. Yeah, has a very wonderful and interesting sense of humor. And you're like, immediately you're like, oh no, I'm not going to do this. I'll just pass and I'll just move on. I'm not going to try to take this topic at all, right? You could say that or take up the challenge. Yeah. So someone that is in the same office with me and happens to be in my church comes to church and then hears me speaking about controlling your tongue, using James 3 as an example, like the passage where it talks about the tongue is so powerful, the mouth is like, can be compared to the rudder of a sheep and all that. And the person cannot even have like you are coming to you are doing you, right? And it's so amazing that in those kind of scenarios, the delivery will now be fantastic. In fact, people will be so touched and be like, oh my God, Shalom, you gave such an amazing word. I was so blessed. I was so rich. I'm so transformed. And your colleague in the audience is like, ooh, I know this girl, don't take anything she's saying. So is it actually the colleague's place to do that? Right? Is it wrong for me to give to preach on something that is a weakness on my path? Yeah? Should I self-sabotage because I know that this is an area that I'm still dealing with, so I'd rather not take it, not do it, and just run away from that assignment and the opportunity presented to me to make a difference. Right? Now, for the colleague in the audience, you have no idea, you have no clue. Perhaps studying and going through that passage, I encounter light and I have an encounter with God about those things that I'm doing. Right? Now, it's a different thing altogether. I'm trying to put a balance to it now. It's a different thing altogether if I come and deliver and say you have to do this, you have to do that, and then paint it like, oh, I'm all perfect. I'm all good, I am flawless in that aspect. The only reason I give it to people when they need to be given it is because they deserve it and not because there's a problem with me. It's a different thing if I come out and paint that kind of scenario. All right, but if I come and speak from a standpoint of how God has dealt with me, right? How God has dealt with me, what I have encountered, giving examples, and even laying the example in facts. Oh boy, at the office the other day, oh my goodness, I gave it so well. In fact, I didn't even have any conviction in my heart that what I was doing was wrong. I just carried on with my life. I was just good, there was no issues until I got this call. I got this text message to actually take this Bible study, so it's a different scenario. I believe with my trend of thoughts, I've been able to give the solution of what to do when you are given an assignment or a task that is directly opposite with what your level of strength or your level of expertise is, moral wise. Yeah, because business wise, when it comes to skill wise, you can always work on your skills, brush up, learn one or two things, do an overnight reading, TDB as we like to call it, till daybreak. Study to meet up with a certain expectation. But when it comes to directly impacting lives for Jesus, doing the Great Commission, making disciples of Christ, right? It'll be so weird to want to wait till we have attained perfection to do what we are supposed to be doing. As a matter of fact, Paul talked about it. He talked about a weakness. Corinthians 12 from verse 7. Yeah, he talked about a weakness, a thorn in his flesh. Yeah, so different theologians have tried to describe exactly what that thorn was. Some spoke about, perhaps it might not have been a physical thorn, maybe a kind of sickness, an illness, some say it's epilepsy, whatever it was, right? Whatever it was something that was supposed to be shameful, yeah, something that was supposed to be like, and all these things are supposed to be happening through me, like, physician, heal yourself now. How can you be coming to be teaching us about it, and then in your own life we can't even see the evidence? Would he could have chosen to let that cripple him and keep him from doing what he was supposed to be doing, that is teaching the gospel, bringing people to Christ, reconciling people to Jesus, right? Doing what we're supposed to be doing. Like, we have so many people that they really want to live for Jesus, right? They've encountered Jesus, but then the sins of the past, the ghost of the sins past is haunting them. And it's like, so where do I start from? I have reels of me twerking on social media. I have videos of me doing all manner of stuff, attending parties. My friends know me, we've smoked shisha together, we've done all manner of stuff, we've even done weed at some point. Like, how do I now come and start telling them that what they are doing is wrong and they could actually go to hell? How do I come to preach to somebody that really might not take me? So many people, it affects so many people so much that they'll rather just keep to themselves and continue in what they're doing, rather than allowing themselves to be vulnerable enough to expose themselves to the light of God so that he can glorify himself through their weaknesses, right? Now, for the example that I gave, the loudmouth one, chat. Now, who better to deliver a sermon on bridling the tongue than someone that has had an encounter with Christ concerning that particular weakness? It's very easy for me to come and say, even if you are a prostitute, even if you sleep around with men for money, you can give your life to Christ and God will heal you, God will clean you, God's blood will wash you, set you free, and you can still be used by God mightily. You could say, that's you talking. What's the worst you've actually done? You are just blabbing, you're just talking. What's the worst that you've actually done, right? Than if a popular runs girl that you once knew. All of a sudden, you just know that, oh, I've not heard about this person for a long time. And all of a sudden, you hear that, oh, we're expecting a guest speaker at this particular place. You were dragged to church by your friend, right? And then you got to the place and you find this popular, once upon a time, popular runs girl in school, standing tall, preaching, teaching, giving accurate words of prophecy, preaching about her life, saying, yo, I used to be a runs girl. I used to sleep with guys for money, right? I didn't even think it was prostitution. I didn't even think there was anything wrong with that. I was just living my best life. Yeah, but see what Jesus has done in my life. He cleaned me, made me whole. I am 35. I have not gotten married yet, but I am single and I am happy and I am so content, right? And it strikes a different kind of chord. It's just a beautiful experience. Yeah, my point is, I would say it's insanity. You don't have to wait till you attain that perfection, because even in your weaknesses, Christ is glorified. It's just a breath of fresh air to know that even in my weaknesses, God is glorified. Like my mess ups of today will become my hit content for tomorrow, because I'm going to talk about my mess ups. And I'm going to talk about how God used me, how God delivered me, and how God helped me. And it's going to bless someone else. So yes, once you give your life to Christ, like you are sold out to Him, He uses everything. God is able to use everything that has happened to you for His glory. So yeah, you might have been in an unspeakable place and you don't even know where to start from. Start from anywhere. Just start from where you are. Let me take that back. Start from where you are. Yeah, I would say that. Read your Bible, pray every day. Like that's just the cultivate your intimacy with the Spirit of God. Yeah, and don't judge. When you have been forgiven much, it's difficult for you to judge others, because you're like, if not for God's grace, where would I have been? I am what I am, but by the grace of God. So it's difficult for you to judge another person. So don't judge other people. And the fact that you have not been in a place, or you've not been exposed to certain things, or you have just found yourself to be the good guy and the good girl, does not give you an avenue to look down on other people. Because what about the sins of their hearts, the sins of your imagination? Yeah. The fact that your own is not exposed does not mean that it is not actually there. So why judge? Yeah, so let's just stop this she's not that great, I know the things that she does in secret. Are you her God? No. All right. Yeah. So right now I'll be exiting. Yeah. And don't forget, please click the subscribe button. Bye. Yeah. If you have one or two things to say, please let me hear it in the comment. I really love to hear your comments. All right. Bye.